All right, we are live. I'm going to screen and share and then
Kenzie, drag the video over onto your screen.
hang on.
There's
Oh, there's Charles. Now he can run the show.
What?
You got lucky.
I was struggling.
What's up, Stoney?
How's it going?
We're just going to skip all that intro stuff since I'm late to the party and I didn't realize I was even have to run this stuff. You've had a busy season already. You were with us at Pullers Championship. How was your weekend there?
It was good overall. We ended up with a 4th overall. I think we got 3rd Friday night, and I think a 6th on Saturday night. So ended up 4th overall. Was very happy for the competition that we had there. So I was very pleased to be there. I think it's a great venue. I'm looking forward to it next year.
What'd you guys say? Your partner in the OBS truck too is that your dad?
The Hooking for the Cure, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, that is my dad. We bought that truck. It was, of course, totally different when we bought it, and we were going through a paint job with it. And my mom had just been a survivor of breast cancer, so we made that in honor of her. So she's about, I think, a 9-year survivor now.
Awesome. That is awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Do you have any other tie-ins with the truck as far as charitable outreach or showing the truck or?
Well, we've showed it just a few times, and it most time makes the banners for a lot of our local pools. That that's on our banner, the flyer I think that y'all got for the pool that we're here talking about tonight. But the main thing we did is all of our shirt sales have always went straight back to breast cancer research.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, hell, I wish I'd have known that. I'd have dropped for a couple of shirts while I was there.
Well, we'll hope you get a chance to do that again some other time.
I will plan on it.
Yeah, sounds good.
We'll get an opportunity. We'll see you all at Scheid probably, right?
Well, and it's according to, he doesn't run the full circuit. We run more with it on the regional circuit, and but I'd like to get him to that point. He really needs to stretch that truck. He's given up about 18 inches of wheelbase, and he just hasn't decided he wants to do that yet. But time will tell.
So that's an interesting thing too. Like there's a class maximum, and there's certainly something to be said for it. But I mean, we've seen shorties work. It can.
Yes.
What are some of the battles you fight in terms of setting the truck up to make it work with that short wheelbase?
Well, his driving style was a lot different than mine to start with. So, that's we just kind of let him do his thing, play with air pressure some. He's running DOT tires, but we get on. He has just last year in June of last year, he beat all of us down here at Lexington, Tennessee. It was a track that was a little wetter, and so the cut tires didn't work good, and he drove it right out to the end. You could see the smile on his face where he went down through there.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. You guys kind of chased it a little bit at TPC. Got lucky, got test hook, had to drop with it, and
yes. Well, and start out saying my dad's 78 years old, so just to have him out there and doing it is a great thing, and there's still as we've developed this engine and done some changes for him, it's made it a little different for driving. And so we had a conversation Saturday about how to deal with the horsepower he's got. He got the horsepower, so just how to get it to hook up to the ground. And so he had a lot better run Saturday night, I thought, but when he got out there, he did the engine died on him, and we had a starter wire ground out. So we had to pull, start it, and bring it back around, but still made a good hook after that was all over with.
So is it open drive line at this point, or is there still
It is still an open drive line. It's a 3.6 truck. It's a fully built motor. It's just that we never have stretched the frame. So
gotcha.
It is a 3.6, pro stock diesel truck. Just still running DOTs and not running the full wheelbase.
Gotcha. You know what? I've seen there was a guy who had all truck challenge in Dragway 42, and I'm having a Bubby Payne is his name. Ran a short bed truck, even shorter than that on cut tires, and made it work. So, throw the rubber on there. Let's see what happens.
That's right. And we've talked about playing with different things, and I kind of leave that decision up to him. When he decides that he wants to do that. I think when he gets to where he feels like he can handle it, some of the things he struggled with and going through there, he may do that, and he may not. He's just enjoying having fun, and to get to go to pools and spend time with him at this point is really the most important thing.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You got an event coming up here in June 10th and 11th at Jackson, Tennessee. Talk about what you got going on.
Yeah, this weekend we've got a 2-day pool in Jackson, Tennessee. It's at the fairgrounds there, so it's a great facility. It's a track that's an established track. It's not really used for anything else but truck and tractor pulling once a year. Got a great grandstands. We've got 6 classes of vehicles that are going to pool there, along with a couple of unsanctioned classes. I think we're going to run what is considered a farm class down here, a 12-mile-an-hour farm class, and I think some street diesel trucks, along with the 6 PPL classes that we're going to be running.
Gotcha.
Fans get to have the drive shaft show.
I'm sorry.
So fans get to have the welcome to the drive shaft show with the local trucks
with the street trucks. That's
baby.
At least 1 or 2 of those. That's right. That's what's always fun.
Now it's a party.
That's exactly right.
A little tip to every promoter out there who is going to do that kind of a class. You need to really get a sponsorship from your local auto parts store, because I guarantee you on Monday morning they're going to sell some U-joints, some yokes, some inputs. There'll be demand locally after that's over.
There will be tangible benefit.
Yeah, tangible
immediate
benefit. Immediate business. You're going to make money on this deal.
Immediate ROI.
And even better yet, if you bring it in the enclosed trailer to the pool.
Yes. It is interesting to see, but it's always, it's a crowd pleaser, because everybody comes to see, the PPL trucks and tractors, but it's fun watching the local boys get out there and play.
Yep, it sure is. Yeah, everywhere I go where they do a class like that, the loudest cheers are for, whoever it is that everybody knows, and they just blow it up. People love that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back to some of my old hometown polls.
Yes. Some of the hometown polls back here in Michigan, and the guys who do blow it up, they'll dine out for weeks on that. Their beer tab is picked up because they can tell the story.
I agree.
We had a local poll one time that was about an hour away, and there was some guy working construction all the way from Arkansas, I think it was. Half-ton crew cab Chevy decided he was putting it in the class and pulling it. And everybody just cringed, because you could watch the whole thing just flexing like this. And it's like, he's got a long ways to go home if he breaks down.
Where was that?
That was up in Greenfield 2 years ago.
There's the event flyer. Stoney, as far as both competitors and fans, is there a certain gate or way they need to approach this to get in, whether you're pulling in it or just going to watch?
If you're pulling in it, we do have a back entrance to the pits, and it should be well marked. But this fairgrounds is right on U.S. Highway 45, so it's a 4-lane road there, well marked. It's pretty easy to get in. It will be some traffic, but they most of the time have some people there. I'm sorry, I was reading that down through there.
Yeah, you can answer, Adam.
Yeah, I'll get to that in just a second. But it's pretty easy to get in. It's got plenty of parking for people, and like I said, a a big tall grandstand, so we've got plenty of room for spectators, but we've got good parking for the pullers that want to come. And the only difference is you'll make a turn and go back down a smaller side street, but still plenty enough to we get 18-wheelers in there all the time. So we've not had any issues where that's concerned. So I'm going to answer that question real quick, because it was funny. Somebody told me about the video of that. And, the announcer was saying that the throttle was stuck. That's just my daddy's driving style. And I think that's
and that was me as the announcer, so I'll take the blame there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what it sounded like. It was really funny because it really sounded like that. And I was standing at the start end and I heard it. And it was really funny because I was looking at some fans and they were cringing. And I just grinned. I said, well, he wanted to make sure it was spun out. That's all. And I think where that came from, back on some of the earlier engines we run in there, especially where we wasn't spinning out as hard and you would kind of lug down, he would choke it down, and then that would become hard to crank back up and get off the track. So he's not quick to just chop that throttle. And when he spins out, he just is basically making sure it's spun out and then pulls the throttle back from there.
Gotcha. So actually that leads to something interesting, because we see that a lot on it doesn't matter what class it is, if it's diesel. Guys will get to the end of the run and they'll push in the clutch pedal, but they're burping that throttle and feeding it some fuel. They're not just going hands off. Talk about how an engine can load up like that and it'll want to kill it, and then you can't restart it.
Well, if you're hooked up well, and that's what the ultimate goal is, you're going to get down to the end. Well, I mean, hopefully you spin out, but sometimes you're still going to load up as that load comes on and those RPMs fall a little bit, yet at the same time, you're still giving it full throttle. You'll get an excess amount of fuel. So it's kind of the same way when we start them up. We have to start them up with the fuel keel out and then push the keel in once it's spinning over on ether. Well, it's the same deal. You will get that. And most of the time, my truck will do that. And you'll have to play with that throttle a little bit, or the fuel keel. You can do either one. You can kind of just pull that keel out for a second and push it back in. But it'll have a loaded fuel. So the best I can describe it to is driving a car with a choke on. It's very similar to what it's like.
Makes a lot of sense. Talk about your program. You got a nice running truck yourself.
Thank you. I stepped up into the Silver Series back in 2020 of all years, and with this truck. Oops. And yes, yeah, short season, but we made fun, had a good time with it, and started down a learning curve. Whatever that first pool was, I guess it would have been in Indiana. That was basically replacing the Watson pool when it was moved down to Indiana. And, that was my first time to ever drive, with cut tires. Everything else we'd always run was DOT.
Oh, really?
Tires. Yes. That was, and so that's been a learning curve for me. And then just as of recently, I put a new set of cut tires on. And so we've started that learning curve again.
Do you have the new Nichols front tires on yours?
That is correct. Yes, those are the ones I'm running. Yeah,
and they do work. GoPro proven. They do work.
They do. But it does take a different driving style. And actually been having that discussion just as even today, trying to learn a little bit more about, because I had them at TPC.
I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, I had them at TPC. That was my first time to have them on, and but we got down here this weekend on a little harder track than TPC was, and it taught me some things. I bounced very hard the first night and had to get out of the throttle, and I was past 100 foot, so it affected my night that night. But
when you went from
it's been I enjoy this truck, I really do, and it was a decision my wife and I made that we said we want to go do this for a while at a little bit higher level, but still try to support our regionals. And that's why we wasn't at Nashville this weekend, was because I made the choice to stay down here and run with, where my daddy was running this weekend, because we had a regional PPL pool down here, the same bunch that's pulling Saturday night, Friday and Saturday night this weekend.
for those who are looking at this and listening in, and maybe they're thinking they're a 3.0 puller and they're thinking about going towards 3.6, the bigger Charger, it's more power, of course. But for them, what would you tell them in terms of driving style difference? Taking the power piece away, that's a given. Just going from the DOTs, the 35 DOTs onto the cuts.
Well, the first thing, and I already had the power in the first place, so I had already, we were running the bigger engine. So the first time that I tried to drive exactly like I did my DOT tires, I found out how much quicker they would load up and how much quicker it would load that truck up. So the very first time that I went out with them, you know, when I went to go put the throttle on, it didn't respond. And it was just because it was just hooked up better, you know. So I guess the easiest thing to say is it's going to require you to be on it quicker. You know, you're going to have the power, but you also need to be on it quicker, because once those tires hook up, you know, you're along for the ride if you've got the horsepower there.
Gotcha. What other changes do you have to make? You know, is there a gear ratio change that goes with that as well? I mean, again, there's more power, but you know, tire diameter is different, contact patch is different.
A little bit of gear change, but really not a whole lot. We play with gear still to this day a little bit, and we're still running close to the same overall ratio we were running when we were running DOT tires. And you were spinning them more.
Yeah, you were getting
more track speed now.
Yep.
You were just spinning the others, trying to hope that you got that track speed, spin them fast enough and get there, which they never did. Now you're just getting more of it to the ground.
I'm going to ask you this question, and you can feel free to dodge it if you want to. What would you say the wheel speed is?
I really don't know the wheel speed. That's a question that I don't have a sensor on the wheel speed or the ground, you know, but I do know that in Louisiana back in March, I think I hit 34 mile an hour going down the track.
Gotcha. So assuming this, we can probably infer with a slip ratio, you're somewhere in the high 30s, low 40s, probably.
That's the one thing that, you know, we could put sensors on to know that, but I don't know that figure, but I do know we get more and more of the tracks and the sleds tell us what our mile per hour is. And that's a good thing to know, because I mean, and it's funny, it correlates most of the time to the winning distance. Fastest speed ends up being the winning distance a lot of the time.
We don't hear a lot about pulling in Louisiana. What's it like going down there on that track?
Well, we love Louisiana, and I think next year it will be a points pool for Mid-South. I hope it is. They put on a great show. They're a great host down there, and it's similar. It's a red sandy-ish dirt, so it's a pretty good biting track, and that's why I think that I got the speed that I got. Same tires, actually better tires when it came to TPC, but I would bet that we didn't have that track speed then.
Gotcha. Adam's right on. The 3.6 guys, you guys are all pretty tight and help each other out. I see that too.
I'm glad he brought that up, because that's one of the things that I've come back and told everybody else. I've told folks to come go with us from day one. From the first time that I went to that very first pool, they welcomed me in, and they worked on my truck the same way. You know, it don't matter who it is. Everybody's helping everybody, and then just let's try to beat you out on the track. And they're still cheering for you, even if you know when it boils down to it, they like to win, but they like to see you do good too. So I mean, in most places, if it's a 2-day pool, you're going to see our whole bunch sitting eating together after the pool's over with.
I know that's right. All right, give us a rundown on your event there, Jackson, Tennessee, coming this weekend, June 10th and 11th, 7 o'clock both nights. What can give everybody the 30-second elevator speech on it?
So we'll have pro stock diesel trucks. I think the flyer got printed wrong, showed it as limited pro. We'll have pro stock diesel trucks. We'll have you may have to help me there a little bit with that flyer. We have light limited super stock tractors. We're going to have super farm tractors, and I know we're going to have 2-wheel drive trucks, and there should be 2 others there on the class list. What did I miss there on that?
Supermod 4-wheel drive, which will be the is that like the 671 blown trucks?
That is right. Now they will pull the way it's set up right now. They're going to pull on Saturday night. The diesel trucks are going. So those two classes are kind of swapping out. So the diesel trucks are supposed to pull on Friday night. Saturday night, the super modified 4-wheel drives.
Are you going to, suggestion maybe for next year, hold the winners over from each side and throw down on a grudge, blower versus diesel.
You'll find that interesting. That's really down here in the Mid-South, because we don't have a large number of diesel trucks and we don't have a large number of the blower trucks, either one. The last 2 years, we have run those together and
awesome.
Tried to make it work, and played with weights and everything else, and but the last 2 years it's been that way. We've separated it out this year, and the super mods this year, they've got a kind of a different class. They're running the stretch trucks now. You have to run a different blower speed, but they run the stretch trucks.
So actually on that note, so if you're short wheelbase, you're 871, stretch truck, you're 6. Is that right?
Something like that. I don't know the exact rules, but something like that. I know they're allowing, you got to run less of a charger, less of a supercharger than you do on the short trucks.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, Stoney, for joining us tonight. We'll let you get on with your evening, and we'll bring in Kyle Matcham and talk about his hook next.
Thank you very much. We appreciate y'all.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Stoney.
Thank you.
Tony.
Kyle, what's up?
Okay,
What's
cool.
going on, man?
We're gonna do that.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, we can. How's life in East Ohio?
It's going. I seem to have lost my voice over today, so
I was gonna say I can't. I can hear that. What a time to have an interview, right?
right, yeah. Oh, we'll try to.
Kyle, I think we're going to make this one an extra long segment too.
Yeah.
I'm already so outspoken to begin with, and I lose my voice. So.
How many guys did you have to yell at on the starting line or in the staging lanes to lose your voice this weekend?
Not really too much at all, to be honest. We had a 4-day race, and then I was working on trying to get some of the track set up. So we were tag teaming a 4-day drag race and getting some stuff set up on the pulling track side of things for this upcoming weekend.
What race did you guys have in town?
It was called the Ace Ohio Events. So it was a triple 20 grander bracket race, 20,000 to win each day. So there was a little over 400 cars on property. You start at 8 a.m. and you hope to finish right around midnight each day. So a lot of rounds of racing and tight bracket racing with very little margin from the start line to the finish line. You know how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I know this week, I think actually tomorrow or today starts Summit Midwest Drag Week. Are you guys a stop on the tour this year?
Yeah, so we are stop 3 on Thursday. So they kick off the actual event tomorrow down near Cincinnati, and then they go to Indiana on Wednesday, and then back to Ohio, come to visit Dragway 42 on Thursday, and then they head back to Edgewater down in Cincinnati to conclude the week. So excited to have that come up to the facility. It's a pretty cool challenge, more or less.
Is anybody live streaming that deal like they do with Rocky Mountain Drag Week or Hot Rod Drag Week?
Yeah, I believe so. They have it on I believe it'll be on YouTube to watch live streamed each day, to my knowledge.
Gotcha.
I haven't seen the link yet, but I believe that will be live streamed. And
is this the same event that Loans and Freiberger call?
I don't think they're involved with it. No.
Okay,
yeah,
so this is okay.
That's
Different
not
one.
right. Yeah, it's a different spinoff. This one is just a different. There's a couple of them now. There's Hot Rod Drag Week. There's Sick Week. There's the Summit Midwest Drags and Rocky Rocky Mountaintop, I believe it is, out west. So
Yep.
there's been a couple of them, and they all seem to do pretty well.
So I've been to your track. You guys have one heck of a sled pulling facility, nice double track. It's a picturesque place to go. I'm just going to tell you right now, and Kyle, you can cut me off on this one, but if you really want some interesting photographs, go down the retention pond, stand down there, and you'll get some real bird's eye stuff that's kind of cool. But it's a good event. What do you got coming here this weekend?
So we got a 2-day pull, both Friday and Saturday. We have the Tri-State Mini Rods, 5 COTPC truck classes, and a 9,500-pound hot farm tractor class on Friday night. And then on Saturday, we have the Ohio State Tractor Pullers Association. They will be bringing 2-wheel drive trucks, the pro stock tractors, modified tractors, the pro stock semis, and the limited pro 3.0 diesel trucks as well. So, this will be the first points hook for everyone on Friday night. And then on Saturday, this is the second weekend for Ohio State. But they last weekend they had 2 events on Friday and Saturday. But the 2-wheel drive trucks and the 3.0 limited pro diesel, they kick off their point series this upcoming Saturday. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing everyone after a busy off season. It seemed like there wasn't a lot of, even though it was the off season, there wasn't very many either weekends off, or they were fighting a lot of challenges with trying to get their stuff back together and parts, and that's still sort of rearing its ugly head. And I think it's unfortunately not going to end at any time soon. But everyone's battling the same battles, and that's about it.
That Friday night, the Tri-State Mini Group, that's going to be some of the mini classes that you see at Shipshewana this past winter, and we'll see again for that event. And I don't know if Mike is going to come out with It's No Joke, but he had that bad rack at Shipshe, and he recovered from that. The new chassis is out there. He's got a hit on it, and I don't know if he's coming to your event. I hope he does. It'd be cool to see the twin turbo LS back out there with a new frame under it.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure. I worked with a couple local mini rod guys on this event too. I know they're close with him. I haven't heard that he's going to come down, but
yeah, it's a bit of a haul, and get that. What else you got coming this summer? I mean, that pulling track ain't just going to sit there for this. You got other events coming throughout your calendar. What else you got coming?
We have, for the next couple of months, it's primarily drag racing. We had a monster truck event in May on the dirt track, and some upcoming races typically we race every weekend, Thursday through Sunday, if not more, private rentals and stuff like that. But we have a Ford race coming up the following weekend after the polls. Another big one, or low budget, decent paying out bracket race after that. Nostalgia rockin' race. 3 days of pre-72 and older drag race cars, so all nostalgia, all old school, no 2-steps. Larry Dixon is actually going to be bringing his 2-seater.
Nice. Really?
He has someone signed up, bought the package more or less, and they want to go down.
That's
so
cool. If you haven't been to Dragway 42 and you remember it the old way when they ran from the road back into the back end of the property, it's all been redone. They run from the back end of the property out toward 42 now. It's smooth, it's picturesque, natural earth berm, seating, beautiful place, lighting's excellent. Are you guys concrete all the way to the 1320?
Now we're like right around 700 feet is concrete, and the rest is a tri-layer asphalt that they laid down Actually, just 2 weeks ago was our 50-year anniversary of being open under the new remodel. Dragway 42 has been around since 72.
Yeah. If you haven't been there in a while, it's worth your while to go out to the facility. It's beautiful. They've done a great job revitalizing and revamping that place. So plenty of space, nice venue. You guys have done a good job.
Thanks. Yeah, we're mom, dad, and myself are always trying to continuously improve on the facility. Every time we come out there, hopefully see something different, something better. But we're always trying to make it better. We're currently in process of putting up 4 large Musco lighting on the drag racer pit side. So more light in the pits on that side, and we're also working on two poles and an announcer booth, a full announcer booth on the dirt track side. And,
oh heck yeah, that'd be a nice upgrade over there too. That's awesome.
Yeah, the light poles came out of former Mansfield Motor Speedway. Unfortunate that we're seeing a track closed, but when the opportunity arose to purchase the lighting, it worked out in our favor to get those. And
we appreciate the lighting. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And nobody likes flash photography and tractor pulling.
But for the sled pulling track there, it was never bad. I mean, you know, you guys had good lighting as it was.
Yeah, we sort of were able to piggyback off of some of the drag track lighting, and then we have we're currently using portable lights, but you're always going to have some dead spots, and you know, we can piggyback off the drag track and add some more poles, and then put some portable lights in areas that still get dead spots. The more we can get it lit up, the better. I know photographers and videographers appreciate lighting.
Yeah, heck yeah. Anything else you want to throw in? I'll let you save your voice, but if there's anything else you want to add in.
No, that's it. Both days the gates open at 4:00. On Friday, the polls start at 7. Saturday, the polls start at 6:30. Open pits, free pits. Every ticket's a pit pass. Children each day. Children 5 and under are free. On Friday, adults are 15. Kids 6 through 12 are $5. And on Saturday, adults are 20, and kids 6 through 12 are $10. We do, if you go to dragway42.com, there is online ticket sales. Obviously, we'll also sell tickets at the gate. There's still some trackside infield parking and some VIP parking up there, and some new this year that we're working on with SmokeandSpeed.tv is a live stream. I know there's been 2 events this year already that I would have liked to have made, and I watched the live stream instead. So I decided if I'm going to have an event, someone else may want to watch it from the house or their shop, and get some buddies together and do that. So
100%.
So that can also be purchased online.
Good deal. I'll let you conserve your voice, man. You got a busy week coming ahead with Midwest Drag Week, and then this the Spring Showdown this June 10th and 11th at Dragway 42 West Salem, Ohio. Go out and check it out if you're in the area, and you guys will have a good time. I promise you that.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yep.
Well, while we wait for Mr. Greg Elsing to come in and talk about the American Family Children's Hospital charity poll, what's everybody been up to?
Enough of that. Tell us about your weekend.
This was a weekend of numbers, and we broke all of them except for on the drag strip. in terms of overall. But anything that could or would happen, I'm shocked at how it all came off. It was smooth. It was easy. I'm not a fan of the multi-truck rule. I will say that. I think it should be one truck does all events.
Yep.
But I got more sleep Saturday night at UCC this year than I have gotten in the last 2 years combined because we didn't have to do all of that stuff. And it opened the door to some interesting stuff, you know. Derek Rose scored the UCC record down to a 474 on the drag strip. Not as fast as he's been. He's been a 444 at 171. The Burkhardt team, DHD, they got their first 4. They went a 496 and backed it up with a couple 499s. They did something I thought that had been forgotten about with the Hot Wheels car on the dyno on Saturday, doing that triple setup. We had a conversation in the shop back in 2020 when I was working there. They wanted to run triples on the dyno. It's like, how do we fit this under the hood? And it's not gonna. And I thought about the Australian guys on Drag Week who had the twin chargers above the hood on their car. And I made a quick, you know, Photoshop. It wasn't intended to be a convincing Photoshop. It was just to illustrate an idea, and I took it to the boys first. And I figured I'd get laughed out of the building. They're like, no, show Dad. And so I showed it to Tony, and he's like, yeah, call Chris and see if we can get this passed. And, well, that was 2020. We didn't have a UCC. And 2021, they didn't do it. They played it safe. And I got a surprise about 10 days ago. I started getting phone photos from Tony that they were going to do the Hot Wheels car. So that was pretty awesome. Laid good numbers, 2,400. On the rollers, highest for a Duramax, 3,000 plus torque. And it lived. It was happy. They went back and took that all off, with single charger back on, and went drag racing with ODSS and backed up their Pro Street win. So good weekend for those guys. Nathaniel DeLong, who was the fastest diesel 4x4 on the planet until Derek Rose stole it last month. He lowered his personal best, so 6'4" power stroke can go a 470 in the 8th mile. Charlie Fish and Austin Denny were trading back the 6.0 record on the strip. They lowered it from somewhere in the high 6s down to, I think, 630s. We saw the first billet 6.0 from Jesse Warren come out. It was on the dyno. It didn't do what he wanted it to do, but it ran down the pulling track. He did have some issues. He wasn't sure if it was electronic or mechanical. We got to see the Headley truck, which is a DT466 with compound chargers in action. If you're not out on the, in the eastern Ohio, West Pennsylvania area where they do the run with your brung, you don't get to see that truck. It's freaking cool. We need to have him on this show. I have lots of questions, things I want to talk about, and they're super nice guys. They'll tell you anything. And his run, he buzzed the tires harder than I've ever heard a four-wheel drive truck buzz them. And I had to run up to the window and say, hey, do you mind telling me? You can tell me no, but tell me what the tire speed was when it was doing that. And he said it was 70 miles an hour. And on four-wheel drive, that's upstairs.
I saw you run up to the truck when I watched, was it Kill Devils? I think it was Kill Devil Diesel had the live stream on Sunday, and I rewatched it. And I saw you come charging out onto the track afterwards, and they didn't have a great angle. They didn't have a real wide angle on it. And I wondered, is Headley on fire or something? And you're running out there. But no, it was just you being you. It was me being me. I heard it, and I'm like, I got to know. It didn't just spin out like a four-wheel drive. It buzzed them in hard. And I was like, I got to find out. I got to know what this is. And he told me, and that's how those guys are. So I'll work on that. We'll have to have that for a future show. And we saw everything. We saw a sled pulling. We brought together that creation. We had Calvin Miller with a super stock. We had 2.6 trucks. We had 3.0 trucks. We had 3.6 trucks. We had the UCC guys who did want to do
one truck, 3 events out there, and you could spray nitrous, and a few of them did. It's a unique thing. I apologize. I feel bad that the track wasn't that great. It really fell apart. I'm not taking anything away from the guys who did well. It's part of pulling that you get that hook order deal, and they did what they were supposed to do. But the track did come apart, and it wasn't that great.
And how about Brian Shue?
Yeah, Brian killed it. Him and his dad John. And you know what? So there's 2 teams where the two truck rule, I can't root against them, and the Shoes are one because both those trucks came out of their shop, and actually 3 teams, both those trucks came out of their shop. DHD, both those trucks came out of their shop, and in Derek Rose's case, the pull truck that came in for him, Kevin Morrell, that first gen, that came out of Derek's shop. They redid that thing. It's a Freedom motor. They went through the whole drive line, redid the turbo setup at Derek's place. That's a DNR Customs truck. So I don't have a problem with that. And I do appreciate, like I said, the extra sleep. But the thing we got to talk about is what Justin Ziegler did.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He got the old Fire Punk truck. It was Levon's Pro Street. And to start, let's just start. Justin got his first 4 in the 8th mile. I believe he is the 3rd driver in that truck to get a 4, along with Josh Scruggs and Levon himself. It was I'm going to say the 8th driver in Pro Street to do a 4. Burkhardt's were the 7th and the 5th chassis to do it this weekend. So it was cool to see that barrier getting broken through. But what they did on the dyno, they took the single charger off and put compounds on it. And what Levon had to say about it was a tune-up he always wanted to try, but was too chicken shit to do himself. And it's just an orgy of numbers. They put it on drag radials, which shouldn't work on the dyno. It's always been 420s that everybody smacks that big number with, and they decided to try a drag radial. Launched it at 3100, which is higher than what Justin told me he wanted to bog it down at 2500 and then come upstairs. But when you do that, when you start that low, that's where you get your big torque number, and torque and horsepower both count for that event. But that's also where you launch cylinder heads into the air pattern for Indianapolis Metro
for the airport,
the airport, which is just south of the property. So he started at 3100, swept it to 5725, which is not the rev limiter. He lifted early. It was 1.19 seconds on the sweep. It's I believe it's a 48-inch drum roller, and the inertia of accelerating that drum from, I don't know what his takeoff tire speed was, probably somewhere in the 70 mile an hour range, ran it upstairs to about 175. The entire dyno moved forward 4 inches, and when he lifted, it jumped back 2, the whole trailer. 189 pounds of boost. It burned 6 pounds of nitrous. And when those straps stretched and it pushed onto the front part of the roller, he lifted and it snapped back. He said it hurt like hell. He had Levon go back in and check the data logger. The reverse G's was 1.01.
Good night.
And he said next year, if he does it, he left the belts loose. He's like, I thought all I was thinking about is it's going to blow up. I need to get out of this thing. I want the belts loose so I can get out. And he said next year, not only am I going to pull them tight, I'm bringing my Hans in there. I'm going to wear it.
That's probably not a bad call.
Yeah. Yep.
Adam's video is particularly good at showing just how much violence Justin chose that day.
Absolutely. I was up in the tower, trying to cover ODSS. We were running eliminations at the point. Justin was last. in the order for dyno. So I was tied up upstairs and I was up there. But an indicator that a run is good is the duration of it. If it's quick, you generally know that it's a good pass. But that can also, the duration can also be affected by what your window of RPMs is. So if your ceiling is low, you can have a quick pass, but it's not big power if you're not going way upstairs. The visual cue, it was trying to pull the front tires off of the dyno when he hit it, and when it snapped back, like I turned and looked through my right window into where Adam Blattenberg and everybody from Diesel World who's running the live stream, they were all set up. That was their control room. We just looked at each other with eyes as big as dinner plates. Like, did that just happen? We hadn't even heard the number yet. It's like that. It's gonna be huge, and it was. It really was.
That's the second time that chassis has elicited that response to you. The other time was when you and I were standing next to one another when Levon took it into the 7s in the quarter.
7s in the quarter, and that same weekend they put the Sigma motor in it, and Andrew and I, everybody else was backing away from the dyno, and the two of us are like,
yep.
Yeah, it was just like, moth to a flame. It was awesome. The last thing that was really cool from the weekend that I saw was in Pro Modified. Johnny Gilbert with his 63 split window Corvette had not ever been down the track. He fought it in testing, tried to get the car ready for this week. And his first actual pass down the track was in qualifying on Friday. Saturday goes all the way to the final round. In the final, in a car he's been down the track now at this point 8 times, 000 light. Just murders it. The numbers weren't great down track, but he won. And the way that he won was not what he would have wanted, and it definitely wasn't what the Millers wanted. He was up against the Firepunk team in the S10, and Larson Redlit 0.014. It was bittersweet because that's the last time we're going to see the world's fastest diesel. The S10's getting retired. They have a new 70 carbon fiber body Dodge Dart going together. They'll be out this fall.
Oh, that'll be cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. I didn't know until it was time for the final. Levon came upstairs and gave me the rundown and said, let's mention this. And it was nice to see once I keyed the mic on and told everybody what was going on. And there's video and photos of it, how everybody just flocked to the starting line to try to document that and give that truck its sent off. It's the first in the 3s. It's not the OG Pro Mod, but it's certainly the most well known. So,
I watched that and I noticed that as soon as the burnouts were done and they started staging, it's like, holy crap, where did all of these people come from and why the heck are they there? I didn't realize any of that.
Yeah, between what Millers were doing with retiring their car and Johnny being his debut with the Corvette and going that far, I could not see either one when they staged from my spot in the tower. I didn't get to see them until they went past the trees and came out of the crowd. It was a cool moment. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit emotional too. It was a bit of a tearjerker. I've watched the Millers and Johnny too for the last year with the battles and struggles and successes and failures that both those teams have had. It was one of those moments where I'm not the show those guys are. I'm just the guy giving voice to it. And when it was over, I kind of had to step back for a second and just wipe my cheeks for a second and be like, yeah, that just happened. So enough of that heavy stuff. Mr. Greg Gilsing is here.
Finally figured it out.
Better late than never. We got you.
Right.
You sound good.
Every day.
You sound good. You got a really cool event going on up there in Baraboo, Wisconsin, Pulling for Hope. Talk about what you have happening.
Every year, and I believe this was over 20 years for us. All the competitors in Badger State get together and donate a hook. We raise money for the Children's Hospital in Madison, and used to be St. Jude. Now we do the Children's Hospital in Madison. I think we all have like 115 competitors. If everybody gets all their parts here, a lot of people are waiting on parts and tires, but everybody's hopeful they're going to have them. We sell food, beer, have a good time. Have an auction. We have a Calcutta. Sell it. We'll probably be selling the Pro Stock class again, I believe. Well, we're going to have, I don't know, same thing. A lot of people there. Last year, that people over there said it was the best show in the state last year. So we'll go for that, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. And I think the dollar amount we ended up donating last year, by the time we were said and done with everything we do, was around $95,000 to $97,000. Our goal is $100,000 this year.
Nice
That
work.
is certainly admirable. My hat's off to you on that. For that T-shirt design, was that a contest deal or?
I think they had some of the kids at the hospital draw them up, and we've used them. We pick one every year and kind of use it.
I like
Your
that.
detachable steering wheel looks awesome there, Greg.
It is. That's it wasn't locked on. It must not have been there.
No,
right?
not at all. You're driving with the brakes on that pass.
That's right. That's right.
Bluetooth steering shaft. It's awesome.
Yes.
Yep.
No, we can't. No, we're making fun. We can't pick on the kids. I mean, that's cool that they're the ones who are behind that.
Right. It was neat to have them do it. It's neat. You're always wondering what should we do for a T-shirt. Well, let's let the kids make one. One other thing we do at the Children's Hospital too, and every kid that goes through the hospital gets to pick a toy. They have the toy drive. And one of the Badger athletes pushes a cart through the hospital, and they get to pick a toy tractor out of the cart. And we went around and gathered them up from some of the implement dealers around, like McFarland's, Hennessy Implement, Slama's Implement, Slama, and Richie's all donated toys, and we gathered them all up, and they put them in that cart. And the kids at the school or at the hospital get to pick one out every year.
That's
for every
cool.
week.
That's really cool.
Yep. So we just kind of when we were there wasn't many toys towards agriculture, in there. So we thought we'd get something there for all the kids to at least be in touch with a little bit.
It always takes a team to do something like this. Who's helping you make this deal go? It's not just Greg Elsing.
Well, we got Triangle Tools have been a big supporter for all the years since the beginning. Premier Insurance Solutions, Schultz Interstate Ag, Prairie Performance, Fair Valley Performance, GA Farm Technologies, Hartung Brothers, and K&K John Deere Specialties are all sponsors this year. And Middleton Machine is a gold sponsor too this year. So that's Mike Everson. If you guys don't know him, the Massey Ferguson Pro Stock Schleppner.
Yep.
So that, and all the competitors and all the people. We have the Sauk County Fair Board helps with us now. We used to have it here in Sauk. We kind of outgrew the facility in Sauk. We moved it to Baraboo. And now we have all the classes, 2 tracks up there. It should be a great show again, I would think. Weather looks good for next week. So I don't know. We went from $10 to $15 at the gate this year, but kids 12 and under are still free.
I think based on the class list, I'd say even for $15, you're going to get one heck of a show.
You are, yeah. Like I said, 120 hooks. We had it done in 3 hours last year. So
That's moving. That's
yeah,
impressive.
it is.
Yep, we went. There was a vehicle going down the track every minute and a half. So,
Wow. So next week we're going to invite you back on, and we're going to have a track prep clinic because we're going to teach all the other promoters out there how to do this.
Well, if you're going to see 60 tractors or 40 tractors, whatever you're going to see at an event, you just want to go there and see it. You don't need to drag it out between vehicles. I mean, if you're going to see 40 tractors, you'd rather see them in an hour and a half than 3 hours, right?
Yep.
That's always been our philosophy, and then the promoters like it too because you get them back out, and if it's a fair, they get back out in the fairs and do something else. They have time to do it, and it's not boring. Then kids get bored; they don't want to go back to it.
Yep, I get you.
Yep. So that's always been for 30 years our philosophy. I guess mine, my wife Kelly, my wife, and mine. So that's how we've always done it, and the competitors like it too because they want to go there, get done, and be get home. A lot of times it's a weeknight. Some guys have 2-3 hour drive home. They don't want to do it at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Greg, are you guys running lasers on those sleds, or are you guys running GPS?
We run a laser, but we sent our laser to get fixed at the end of the season last year, and we still do not have the parts for it. So we might be running the GPS boxes this year until we get something. We can't even buy a new laser right now. So we're looking all over for it. But I think we borrowed one from somebody. I think we're going to be good if everything works out right. That was a big hustle today to just borrow some runs because we were told that we were going to get it back and it never happened. But,
just as an aside on that conversation, we talk about, and it's a current conversation on a certain website. I'm not going to go there, but we talk about how to enhance the show. I'm fine with laser being the measurement device, but there's a lot of sleds out there that still have the GPS system on. My suggestion is turn it on. Let us know in the tower as announcers what the ground speed is. Give us another thing to talk about. Let us differentiate what's going on with a certain run with some actual data. I think it only helps the show.
Well, I think we're trying to get ours hooked up from the sled to our video board.
That'd be cool.
We're working on that. So if we can make that happen, that'd be great. And, you can talk about it too as an announcer up there.
Yeah. The more we've got to go on and what we can reference is just
right.
Me personally, I mean, everybody's different, but me personally, that's something I key on, I pay attention to, and I can start drawing comparisons between guys and making inferences and just trying to educate the crowd and make them smarter about what they're seeing.
Right. Right. And And a lot of guys don't think that the GPS is not as accurate, but I bet you every time we've kept track of both, I mean, they might not be the same exact measurements, but the placings come in the same. Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. Like if we're going to go with laser and that's going to be the gospel as far as the distance goes, that's cool. I got no problem with it. It's another tool we have in the drawer that we can make use of and give us something to talk about. I guess is my point.
And and with the laser, if you don't have it there, sometimes it's easier. You're short of help anyways. It's one less guy you have to come up with.
Yes.
Yep.
And the sled operator's got it all set up in there anyways, and he doesn't charge you for it.
Yeah. Potentially it's even two less people. Nobody on the laser and nobody upstairs having to take that radio call because I don't wear headsets when I'm announcing. Sorry, no, never, not going to happen.
Right. You can't. You got to hear what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where I can chime in. So, like from the GPS side, depending on the reception that they're using, I know like the Outlaws are full on with the GPS, and they've ran laser against GPS, and it's spot on all year long. And they went to that because of that. It just makes it so much faster. They've got the announcers have everything right in the stands or up in the announcer stand, and it makes a world of difference. And you don't have to worry about where's my laser getting fixed.
Right. Right. I agree with you. And they're not cheap. I mean, them lasers are anywhere from $4,000 to $9,000.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I agree. I like the GPS. It eliminates one person, for sure.
Yep.
That you have to come up with, and more equipment to drag around. But some people just can't get over. They don't agree with it. How it goes.
Yep.
But they'll plant their crops with it.
Yeah. I'm trusted for that. That probably
but if I'm going to win a trophy that costs $19 to make, we better go right to the laser. I want it down to the gnat's ass on detail.
Right. I agree. But back to the Children's Hospital, Lori Schultz will be there, and they'll have another story. Lori Schultz is our liaison basically from the Children's Hospital. She's been great to work with. And she'll have a family with a story there again for the Calcutta. And it was, last year with the Wildmans, it was a big deal for our club to do that when we had a member that actually had a family member there. So it was good. And we'll do it again. I mean, if you ask everybody in the stands, do you know anybody personally that's been to the Children's Hospital? Almost everybody in the stands will stand up. Everybody knows somebody that's been there for free care.
Yep.
100%.
So it's a great deal. They have, some of the money I know we've donated is bought an incubator for babies. And then there's a room there called the Badger State Tractor Pullers Room. There's a room dedicated to in our name there. So
That's cool.
That's very neat.
So we're approaching that $1 million sponsorship for them, and like I said, the first half of the, we used to do the St. Jude's, and now we kind of switched to because it's more local. The American Family Children's Hospital. So I hope we can get everybody out there and make it just the same success as it was last year. That was great.
I love it. I hope you guys have a successful event, and I hope the weather's awesome, and you guys can get the full program in because of what it means. It's not just about the pullers in this one. This is something that's for the kids. So really wish good things for you guys with this deal.
Thank you. Even guys that bid on the Calcutta, and last year they said, well, we just want to give the money we bid anyways. Even if they don't get a tractor bought, you can still. We've had people go up and write a check and do it. It's a great deal. So
who do you guys have handle the Calcutta? Who calls the numbers?
Well, Strandley usually calls the numbers. We try to get Gavin Brothers up there as auctioneers, but they have an auction that day, so they can't do it. But if anybody wants to come up and be an auctioneer for that time, that'd be great. So
we know some people. There's some people who watch this. We might be able to hook you up.
Yep. We we'll handle it either way, but sometimes an auctioneer helps.
Absolutely.
So, and then there's most of our staff goes out there and then calls, the people in the crowd. I think we had $17,000 last year in the Calcutta, and Ryan Coates bought Brandon Coates' tractor, and he won there, and he donated his winnings back to it. Gave him money back last year. So that was
in events of this type, we see that a lot, and the guys don't have to do it, but it's certainly so respected when they do.
Yep. Yes, it is, and appreciated too.
Yep.
So it's all a good thing.
So is that New Holland ready to rock or what?
Well, we just left down there. There's 6 tractors in the shop we were at waiting for fuel and air. So supposed to be coming on a pallet Wednesday.
Yeah, okay.
It's getting close, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So hopefully we can get them all done and get them all out. So,
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's going to be kind of a small pro stock class if you don't.
Right. Yep, it will be, but it is what it is. What do you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So we're working on it. We were there all weekend. The motor showed up Friday, so put it in, and now it's kind of waiting on that. So a few other ones. So another thing is tires. Tires are an issue too.
Yeah.
Much about that. They don't have cord to make the tires, I've been told. So
it doesn't surprise me one bit to hear that story.
Yep. So
same all over.
It is. Same with everything, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have anything else, or?
Yeah, I got one for you because I've never asked you this question.
What's that?
Do it.
If you could steal the keys, so to speak, to any pulling vehicle, past or present, what would you take the keys to, and where would you pull it, and why?
I already have the keys with my tractor.
Yeah. Give me something else. I know you already have a rock and roll ride.
No, I don't know. I never really thought about it much. I'd like to get on a 4-engine mod somewhere. I don't know whose, but I think that'd be fun. Or a mini rod. A mini rod would be a wild ride. That'd be fun. I guess anybody's, right?
Well, I imagine between there's 5 of us, 6 of us on this call. Between the 6 of us, I think we know enough people. We could probably make that happen if you can convince them that you're not a liability.
Well, I let Stacy Butson drive my tractor one time, and I was supposed to drive his mini rod, but I didn't fit.
Oh.
So I couldn't do it.
Stacy, we got to get out the cage stretcher. We got to make this work.
Right. So, I don't know. I guess I don't really have a name of anybody that I've thought of, but I'd have to have a little thinking about that if I got to pick one.
Yeah, I'll run into you sometime. Think about it when you're in the cab sometime.
It might be one of Blackburn's heavy alcohol tractors. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be a fun ride. Did you see the ride Josh took on that thing on Friday?
No, I did not.
Holy crap!
Monster. Absolute
Like
monster.
365 or some crazy thing. I mean,
Yeah.
he took the sled into the next county and it was fitting to bring it home.
Oh, really?
It was amazing. And I mean, it's you and I have both seen Josh after he makes good passes.
Yeah.
And he doesn't usually get super amped up. Even before he had his helmet off, the MAV TV cameras were zoomed in on him. You could tell how excited he was. Like he had adrenaline going.
Good.
Which was kind of neat.
Yep. You need them once in a while. It keeps you interested, right?
That's right.
Full disclosure, Darren Hartwell and I were watching the pull in the tower at Lucas Oil while doing UCC on Friday night.
Yeah. Not going to lie, I wondered.
Yeah, we were. We were watching.
Yeah. Nope. That sounds like they had a pretty good pull down there, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
We had some of our guys down in North Carolina, too, that, Don Slama won both nights down there.
Yeah, Don had a very good weekend.
Yep. Yeah, a long haul down there, they said, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, other than that, I don't know.
Well, that's it, Greg. Thank you for coming on and telling us about the Pulling for Hope pull coming this Saturday, June 11th, 6 p.m., Baraboo, Wisconsin, Sauk County Fairgrounds. And thank you for all you do. I know it means a lot to those kids, and really it's important to all of us, too.
Yep, it is. It is. We all enjoy it. We all have a lot of fun. It was voted Badger State's favorite pull of the year last year, so that was a big deal, too. So,
by rights, it should
hard to argue with that.
Yep. Yep. So, all right. Thanks for having me on, guys. Sorry it took me a little while to get this figured out, but we'll get it.
Good, man.
Yeah.
No worries, man.
Thanks, Greg.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Yep.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
All right. Well, we're past our hour mark. I think that's what we're trying to hold ourselves to. Going forward is the 1 hour deal. So,
where's everybody off to this weekend?
I am going to my daughter's graduation party. For me, it's dad mode, no racing.
Nice.
I think Cody and I are both headed to Farley.
Yep.
We go to Ravenna.
I'll be in Baraboo.
How far is Baraboo from you, Ken?
25 miles.
So not very far, even from. Well, no, wait a second. Where?
I'm north of the center about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so Baraboo's about 25 miles straight west of me. Or east. Sorry, east.
She gets a short drive.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't know which way she's going, so it could still be the long drive. I mean, depends on which direction she turns, left or right,
She got demoted to dog sitter this week, too. So
yeah.
she has to stay home, and so she's going to cover Baraboo, and we're going to leave Thursday night for Ravenna. So
You got to have the short hops once in a while.
I'll meet you on the road and just wave.
all right. We'll make her to Cedar Rapids probably Thursday night and pick Mike up and roll Friday morning. So
we actually might see you on the road.
Yes. Yeah. Seriously. Friday morning. Yep.
I suppose depending on which way we go over. I usually will go up 35 and across on 20. But
if I'll meet him on 80 probably. So
depends on when they get moving.
Right.
yeah, I don't know what time we're leaving. We haven't discussed that yet, but that's kind of the tentative plan.
I got asked if I was going to Ravenna and got offered a ride in an airplane to go up and around Ravenna when I was there.
So I'm not
there. Oh yeah. I was kind of bummed when I already committed to going to Farley. So
Nice.
Yeah, and you kind of made an all or nothing decision there. So I mean, if something didn't work out in Farley and we had to bail, we're a long ways from Ravenna at that point.
Says it's 9 hours for us, so I'm going to figure 10 with the truck.
Yeah.
Time we get the tractor.
well, I'm going from the southwest corner of the state to the northeast corner of the state, so it's whatever. It's about an hour, little over an hour shorter if I went to Ravenna. But I've yet to see mini rods, so
Right?
Really? You've never seen minis.
No.
Wow.
Get ready.
There's
You're
not
ready.
much you got to consider on the western side of the state. There's not a whole lot of mini rods running anywhere. So
Yeah, that's
and
true.
they don't have them at Louisville and some of the other places. So
That's true. Get ready for a show, man. You're gonna see something. It's awesome.
yeah. So I'm excited for that. So
I'm going to make a point of introducing him to
You'll have
Dusty.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please. And I'm gonna be jealous that I cannot be there for that. Not really. It's my daughter's graduation. Never mind.
No,
Strike
you
that.
shouldn't be, but yeah,
But you guys will have a good time,
always do. It's one of my favorite places to shoot.
especially if Dusty's dad comes. You're gonna have a really great time.
I think I've only met him once, and it was very, very briefly. So I didn't really get the full Dusty's old man experience. But I'm told that it's something of legend.
It is of legend. He's great. I won't spoil the surprise.
Awesome. And I guess since we're talking about him, we really ought to say happy birthday to the guy. It's his birthday today.
Yeah, it is his birthday today. Happy birthday, Dusty Price. And no, we're not going to start doing birthday shout-outs on this show.
No.
We're here all night.
No.
Jeez.
Although we could set up a Venmo for that.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of money.
It takes a lot of money to fill the tanks in these cars and trucks that we drive to these events.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, for $150 per shout out, we'll set up a Venmo for you.
Is that filling your car or my truck? Because it's a little bit different price there.
No, James, nobody's going to Ellsworth. From our group, at least.
Nope, James, you're the man on the street. We're going to be relying on you.
It ain't easy being geezy. Come on with it.
But no, it'll be a good time. It'll be a fun show in Farley. It usually is. And then from there, I have no idea where I'm headed next.
I think mine next after Farley will be Mound City, maybe.
Yep. Next week I will be at what is an old event, but new on the schedule that it's on. I'll be at Blanchard, Michigan for a 2-night hook, NTPA Region 2, 2 weeks from now. So it's been on the calendar for a while. It's been a Central Michigan poll, and now they stepped up and
Is
in a June.
Mountain City is in 2 weeks, the 25th.
Yeah.
24th, 25th.
We're doing Hutchinson next week on Friday and Arlington, Nebraska, I believe, on Saturday night. Then Toma the following weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Manila, Iowa on Saturday.
And Adam, if the weather's good, that's a show you would enjoy.
Mound City?
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
All right, guys. I'm officially out of gas.
Nice job for winging it.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
did.
Coming in late and just shooting from the hip, but I'm sticking a fork in it. I'm done.
Sounds good. See you guys.
All right.
All right, y'all. Take care.
See y'all next week.
Yeah.
See ya.